This is from a conversation that I had with my brother Jason Goudlock on February the 28th, 2023. I want you to really listen, hear his pain, his suffering, his truth. This is Jason Goudlock, Uncut. Jason.
Hello.
Jason. Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead. Just talk, man. It's recording us now.
Okay. Basically, I'm frustrated. Here it is. A lot of effort and energy and went into making this documentary. Titled "Invisible Check," Jason Goudlock story. A documentary, highlighting various injustices that took place in the Ohio prison system, specifically with the parole board. Now, this is my thing. We got a film outlining a parole board member getting busted, filing false criminal charges against a prisoner, and this particular person, Mark Hawk, that's his name, this particular individual, at the time he was a warden, but before he became a parole board member, he filed these false criminal charges on me, saying I vandalized the elevator, which contained his customized motorcycle inside of a prison. Now, that in itself right there, it sounds crazy when you hear that. You're like, damn. So, I'm thinking, with a documentary talking about something of this, an injustice of this nature, this would be enough to draw, a listener in. A person should, be interested in this particular time, this age era we in with this, criminal justice reform movement. Well, ain't nobody basically they haven't helped promote the film. They won't share the film. I can't get nobody influential to put the film on a platform. I'm reaching out to all kinds of celebrities. I've tried to, as paid celebrities. We didn't get it all, but here it is. Every time somebody gets killed by the police, we see people organizing nationwide, internationally, proclaiming, the Black Lives Matter. Now this will be about it. This will be pertaining to an injustice, something that has happened openly in front of the whole world. Now here it is. I was able to be fortunate enough to capture some evidence, some footage of the corruption that goes on behind closed doors that nobody gets to see. Stuff that's going on and people thinking they're getting away with it. Here it is. I'm able to capture this evidence. Managed to get this made into a film, which took years to do. And then once I'm able to make it into a movie, now I can't get nobody to help promote it. And everybody's saying, the Black Lives Matter. Ironically, here it is. This is the last day of, Black History Month. I can't get nobody to help doing Black History Month any other month. This year, last year, the year before that. And to me, like I say, it's extremely frustrating. Now, I'm going to speak on this because I'm a little upset with, the Brittany Griner fan base. I can't really say her specifically because I don't know if with 100% certainty that she actually seen, anything on my website. But I'm pretty confident that she probably came across one of the stories on the, in the news. But here it is. She speaks out to TMZ Sports, says what she says in 2014. I get 5 years at the parole board because of this LeBron James comment. You fast forward, nearly 10 years later, she's over in Russia, going through her injustice. Now, she experiences seeing what, injustice is like and she's reaching out for help. But, the difference between her and me is, she's a millionaire. She has celebrity friends, her teammates and whatnot. She knows people in the media, I'm just, a regular person, and I'm getting, forgotten. I can't get no help. I can't get nobody to, just make a simple post on their social media. Like, how hard is that? How hard is it to take 5-10 seconds, the same amount of time that you took out your day to speak to TMZ Sports to speak about something? I'll, give it to her. She didn't understand the full context of the situation, okay? But she could take her time out in her day to speak on that, but here it is now. I have a movie, and you can't even promote the movie, and like I said, it's not even just about me. This is a movie that's going to bring about justice for thousands of people in the Ohio prison system. So this isn't just about Jason Goudlock, you know what I'm saying? This is about everybody in the Ohio prison system. They have to go in front of the parole board. And I mean, even the people that don't have to go to the parole board, they're indirectly affected because some of the people that have, committed these acts against me, they've been promoted. They've been actually promoted instead of being fired. Maybe some of them, maybe they should have been prosecuted. They want to file charges against me. They making false criminal complaints and getting away with it. So, right now I'm extremely frustrated, and I feel like specifically that the black community has let me down. I mean, I'm not saying that I want to be another race or I don't want to be black, but to some extent, I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of black people. For real. I mean, I'm reaching out to black people, rappers, reaching out to all these people, Facebook groups, spending money. We ain't done it all, bro. And we getting ignored. And to me, that's just like a slap in the face. It's like a slap in the face to Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all the people that fought on the front line. Not to say that I'm, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, but I'm just saying these are people that fought on behalf of the oppressed. The same way that the same thing that I'm doing. I'm fighting, speaking out against injustice. This is all I know to do as a man. I'm being wronged. I've spent 30 years in prison. Okay, I committed some crimes, some robberies, but that doesn't mean that, I'm, the state of Ohio, it owns me. It is entitled to enslave me, to set me up and lie on me and just continuously break their own rules and laws that they use to justify keeping me in prison. Like, I'm extremely frustrated. Like I said, it doesn't make any sense, man. Every day I look at my news feed on my tablet. I'll read the news, and eventually, I'll read the sports, and then I'll make it to the entertainment section. I'll get to the TMZ app, and I'll see somebody like Boosie Badass, as he calls himself. I'll see him talking about debating and commenting on T.I., talking about how T.I. is supposed to be a snitch, a rat, this, that, and third. And I'm like, you mean to tell me you're a millionaire and you sitting here wasting your time debating, going back and forth about a man allegedly being a snitch. Come to find out he wasn't a snitch. He didn't tell on nobody. But this is what this man is doing. And this is somebody that was in prison, on death row. And you mean to tell me you can't help somebody like me in my situation that's fighting, that's making an effort? I'm not asking you for any money. I'm not asking none of that. I'm asking you to simply put something on your social media. Just to hit the share button. Something to take 5-10 seconds. And like I said, I can't get people to do it. Like it's crazy. It's frustrating to me. Now, same way, I feel about with Brittany Griner. I have to be honest, I feel this way about LeBron James. So, because you cannot tell me that this man has not seen one of these stars. We're talking about over a period of, 10 years, starting back when the story first appeared. The story was in numerous publications all over the world. You know it, and I know it. Like you know. So you mean to tell me that this man and can't even, you can't speak up. You can't say, hey man, yeah, this is wrong. You don't have to, champion my cause specifically. It doesn't have to be related directly to me. I mean, it's a group thing. In other words, it's bigger than me. If this man was to speak up and do the right thing, this is something that's going to help potentially thousands of people get their freedom. People are going to go home and see their families. You got people that are in here separated from their kids. Families are getting torn apart. People are here, little kids, they need their fathers, their mothers, because it's also women incarcerated. We can't forget about them, too. We have females that got to go in front of this parole board. Like, how can people just sit back and just look the other way and pretend like nothing's happening? We got the film. The evidence is in the film. You don't have to take my word. And I want to satisfy people's skepticism. I know people are skeptic. They don't believe. Every time somebody makes an allegation like saying that they didn't do, something that they've been accused of, we're going to be doubting. It's going to be always going to be some skeptics. So I want to satisfy people's skepticism. You know what I mean? But like I said, the proof is right there in the film. It's in the film, man. I mean, why are people walking around saying Black Lives Matter? Why is everybody jumping on this justice bandwagon if they're not going to be all the way committed towards it? I mean, Tyree Nichols, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, these people that have lost their lives. Then, when these unfortunate tragedies happen, when the camera's on, everybody, they speak up. They have something to say, and they should. But what if, Tyree Nichols would have lived? What if he would have been in Ohio? What if he would have got beat down in Ohio, beat in Ohio, and you see that the officers were fabricating the story. They were fabricating the story on the scene, saying that, hey, yeah, he reached for my gun. He did this. They was making the story up right there. If this would have occurred in Ohio, he would have to go to court. He would have to potentially go in front of a parole board, just like the parole board I'm going in front of. So he would have to fight injustice that's being suppressed.
You have 1 minute remaining.
He would have to fight against the same kind of injustice that I'm fighting against right now. He would be trying to convince people. He would be, screaming for help, and the same people that are ignoring me would be ignoring him. And the only reason that they're acting like they care now is because the cameras are on. No, they aren't helping me. I got the evidence, the proof. It's not naked allegations. I'm not making naked allegations. So, like I say, I'm upset on a lot of levels, man. Specifically with black people, yes. Like I'm all these organizations, even the ACLU. I done wrote so many organizations numerous of times just to get a rubber stamp, a stop response. Somebody, hey, I'm going to call you back.
Thank you for using GTL.
Jason.
Yes.
Okay, it's recording. You can go ahead and speak, brother.
Okay, yeah, I was saying before I lose my train of thought, like I was saying, if, the late, the brother Tyree Nichols, George Floyd, if they would have experienced the run-in that they had with the police in Ohio, then, like I said, had they survived, they would have had to fight against the prison system, the court system, then, the parole board, and it would have been, them against, what it would have seemed like, the world. They would have been going in front of a parole board. The parole board would have been, just doing the same thing they doing, and this is, a body, a group of people, they supposed to be the good people. They know what's going on. And they refuse to do the right thing. We got a film that's highlighting the corruption. Let's just call it what it is. Highlighting the corruption. Putting the spotlight on the corruption. And then you got, people like, various elected officials, they'll act like, they don't know what's going on. Or people within Ohio's prison system, even the director, you'll have the director, even wardens in other prisons that I've been in. If you are a warden and you happen to witness, let's just say, a group of correction officers, setting up a prisoner or beating up a prisoner or whatever, right? As an officer of the law, you're obligated to do something about this. You're not supposed to sweep this under the rug. And those people should be prosecuted. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, if you about the right thing, you should get off work and go get on your social media platform. There's no time constraints or restraints. There's no certain amount of time in which you are allowed to engage in doing the right thing or fighting for justice. That should be it should be a way of life, But like I said, in Ohio, people they're quiet. They're quiet. They don't have nothing to say. It's okay. It's like my life does not matter. Like I said, we're getting back to the LeBron James thing. I came to prison at a relatively young age. I was a teenager, and I played basketball, which you already know. Now, LeBron James' son, he plays basketball. Let's just say his son would have, for whatever reason, would have got caught up and was in prison. His son would potentially be being subjected to the same thing I'm being subjected to. His son could potentially be in here 30, 40 years. And I'm just using this as an example. I hope, nobody gets offended and nothing like that, because this is not what this is about. I'm trying to make a point. I want people to understand what we are going through in here, man. This shit is real in here, man. We ain't here doing decades in here. Okay, we're taking responsibility for crimes that we did. But once we've done our time, we should be allowed to regain our freedom. But we being oppressed. That's what we being enslaved. This is modern day slavery, man. It is bullshit, man. It's bull. There's no way in hell I should be in here 30 years as a first-time offender. There's no way I got bound over and sent to the adult system. I should have been kept in the juvenile system. I should have at least been allowed to rehabilitate myself in the juvenile system. This is what, little rich white kids are afforded and offered, not to turn this into a racial issue, but it's the truth. I got through to the wolves. I got through to the wolves, and here it is 30 years later. You still don't want to let me out. You want to keep flopping me at the parole board with corrupt parole board members. I mean, that's ridiculous to me. How can you rely on records and facts that you know are falsified, lies? And everybody just looked the other way. The other parole board members, they looked the other way. The wardens, they looking the other way. The unit staff, they looking the other way. So what does that say about the system? What does that say about the system when you won't even step up and say nothing? Just because you're getting some money. This is what money does to people. It corrupts people to the point where they have absolutely no morals. None. But it's like I said, if it was their kids in this situation, would they feel this way? I managed to get this documentary made, like I say, which was, that was a remarkable feat within itself. It's plenty of people that reach out for help and they aren't able to gather the evidence to present their grievance. They're not able to bring their injustice to the table because they don't have the evidence. Well, here it is. I was fortunate enough to be able to obtain this evidence and package it and get it packaged into a feature-length documentary. We're talking about a real documentary and went to a film festival. But here it is, I can't get the media, I can't get the corporate media that wants to pretend like they care about Black lives. The same corporate media that when I wrote my letter to the parole board saying that I wanted to get out the Steelers line with a championship for Cleveland, they knew how to take that out of context. They knew how to take that out of context and use that and sensationalize it for, the sake of getting, some views or whatever. They knew how to do this back then, but now here it is. Once I explained the story, once a documentary has been made, now they don't have nothing to say. That's bullshit, man. That is bullshit. And being that the media has chosen to do this, right? This is why celebrities or people with influential voices, this is why they really need to step up, because we can't get the mainstream corporate media, we can't get them to do the right thing and report a story. We can't get them to report the story. But this is why I respect Colin Kaepernick, because he said, look, man, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to speak out. I don't care. I'm already rich. What can you do to me? I don't care if you want to kick me out the NFL. So what? I'm already rich. I'm set for life. He spoke up. This is what people in the 60s did. Jim Brown, Bill Russell, Muhammad Ali. Jim Brown would tell the media, hey, if I can't stay in this hotel, motherfucker, I ain't playing Sunday. So you can tell everybody that you done sold tickets to, fuck them, I ain't playing. And this is in the 60s. So I respect people like that, man. That's a man to me. That's a man. That's somebody that didn't allow money to control them, man. If you allow money to silence you, then that is the definition of a sellout. You're a sellout. You are a sellout, man. You got people like, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, you have all these freedom fighters, man. They put their life on the line and they died. didn't die for people to just sit back and be quiet. They did what they did in an age, in an era where they didn't even have social media. Here it is. We got social media. Like I say, gotta film. How hard is it to? Yeah, hey, let's get some justice for these guys. You know, how hard is it that to support this this cause? And then, you know, I'm thinking like once I didn't achieve the success that I wanted from the film, I was thinking, well, if I make this an album, you know, the interview album, to assist the Marcy and align myself with an influential voice, which is the reason why I put Jay-Z name on the cover, and this is why I did. This is my thinking. Well, if I align myself with, an influential voice, then maybe this would do it. You know, maybe this would get me over the edge. You know, maybe this would, not saying it would guarantee me that I would get in contact with Jay-Z or his organization, Reform Alliance, but maybe it would just get somebody else involved. You know, somebody would see from a distance what I'm trying to do, and maybe they would want to help. And it just hasn't happened. To me, it seems like, people, they only want to get involved in the causes that are like tailor-made, cardboard cutouts, feel-good stories. It's like when the story is a little rough on the edge, it's just like, oh no, I don't want to get involved. Like, for instance, you might go on my blog and you might read a particular story, and the headline might say something about Toledo Correctional, and I spell Toledo Correctional with a K, right? I substitute the C with a K, like Ice Cube did on America's Most Wanted, his album. He spelled America with 3 Ks. Okay, this is a lot of freedom fighter, grassroots activists. We do this because it's a way of letting people know that, hey man, we are conscious, we are aware of the status quo, we are aware of the fact that this is a racist country, and we're not saying that we ought to go out there and kill white. We're just saying, hey, look, man, this country is racist, man. Flat out. I mean, if people want to...
You have 1 minute remaining.
They want to get offended. I mean, if that's the case, then maybe you're not cut out to be a freedom fighter. Maybe you should, stick to whatever you was doing before you, decided that you wanted to jump on the bandwagon of being a freedom fighter. I mean, I'm in prison. I don't have no choice but to fight for my freedom. This is the sensible thing for me to do. Like, hey, I want to get out and live my life, man. I want to get out and help the at-risk youth. I don't want nobody to experience this, man. But here I can't get it twisted. I mean, that shit hurt, man. I'm not gonna stand up and have tears rolling down my face, crying, but that shit hurt, man. It just don't make no sense. It don't make no sense.
Thank you for using GTL.